May pips be upon you. Hey, how are you? How are you, my peoples? I hope your weekend is going great. Let me tell you something. I was trying to get this video done since Friday close, and I've done research. I was trying multiple times to get this thing done. And what I kept running into was overtime, running into extra long-winded conversations. Explanations and really conversations about market structure and everything. I'm going to have to do this live. I'm thinking this is going to be live the very next go around. I might do a live session today just to go into more detail because I'm in that mindset right now. But there's a lot of information I'm trying to get out. There's a lot I want to give my mentees, and I can't. It will make the video way too long. So if I do it live, I can record a video for YouTube subscribers, as well as take care of my mentees and get some information out. I need you to support me in this endeavor. Insofar as patience, I need patience with you, from you. And just know that, I'm kind of new to this guru business and stuff and trying to get out stuff. I'm a fake guru. Let me make sure you understand that. I'm not trying to be one of the actual quote unquote YouTube gurus and whatever stigma that comes with that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get some information out. And I'm doing it with the mindset of I was in your place at one time, seeking better trading and seeking instruction and guidance. And I paid a lot out for nonsense, and I busted several accounts. Okay, so I've gone through the ringer, and I would love to save some people time and expense if I can. And I just want you to know that I'm growing. I am growing with this, and if you can grow with me, that would require patience. Some people want, hey, I want definitive answers. Hey, I get better answers from such and such guru and everything. Go ahead and do whatever you got to do. All right. I search. I have several mentors, Drunken Monkey being one of them, even though I don't trade the way he trades, but I get a lot of guidance from a lot of wisdom from experienced traders. All right. He knows how to consistently bring in the big dollars, and anybody that does that, I want to listen to, period. Okay. So let's move on. Now, we're going to look at Dixie. I want to go in, like I usually do, a little detail with old Dixie. I want to, because it impacts a lot of other pairs. The deal is, what we want to do first, let's start right. Let's go over what might be coming next week, all right, on the economic calendar. What you want to make sure you pay attention to is interest rate decisions. Now, we don't have any on tap other than for China, and that might impact Australia, but that's not going to, that's not something that we're going to put a whole lot of emphasis on. There's no interest rates this week, but there will be for the CAD next week, the following week. And that's going to be really, really important. So you want to make sure you want to keep that in mind, because interest rates can freeze markets. It can make things just go sideways up until the news. So if you just want to be careful of trading a couple of days prior to that. All right, prior to that. Now, what you want to notice is we have CPI data getting ready to come out for New Zealand dollar, and we have the Bank of Australia coming out with minutes on Monday or whatever, but Wednesday is the big day. Why? Because CPI, GDP, when it comes to those kind of news events, that impacts price. That can make price turn up or turn down. Okay, so if you're already in a trend, if this is a trending market, wait for the pullback. If it's pulling back in that trend, if it's pulling in a pullback, this is probably going to push it further with that trend. All right, so wait for a discount price to get in for the continuance of that trend. But you want to make sure you're aware that we got CPI coming for GBP and CAD on Wednesday. Big days. All right, we got CPI for New Zealand dollar coming this Sunday at 17:45 Eastern Standard. All right, so be aware. Okay, outside of that, you don't see any USD news. You don't see any European specific news. All right, that's something to understand, because coming into this week and last week, it was kind of, both of those currencies were kind of on the neutral side. You saw how with Dixie, with the, just looking at the Dixie, if we go to the daily, you can see how last Sunday price was here, right? This is Friday's candle, this is Friday's close, and then this past Friday candle, this is Friday's close. We went high, came down low, and ended up almost back to where we started. This is a neutral, and it's going sideways. You see this range here. This isn't going into this week. USD pairs, I'm not looking for strength, trade the strength or the weakness with these pairs. All right. We have to wait. We have to be patient with this. Why? Because you can see price was basically bullish, right? Until it started to go into a range. Ranges aren't a place where you want to hang out and wait for buys or sells. All right. You can get some intraday trades with range bound markets, but that's not the highest risk trades. All right. So what you want to notice here, price broke this high. All right, price broke this high. Let me see if I can get a break of structure in here. Do I have a BOS? Yes, I do. All right. You see price broke the high here, right? And that's a good thing, because you know that price there's the potential that price will continue higher, having it made a higher high. All right, go from here to there. Matter of fact, I don't like that line. All right, you see, we go from this high to the higher low to a higher high, right? That's something you want to remark. That's something you want to mark down, right? So what are we expecting? We're expecting reasonably a higher low to be made, all right, with price going higher. And that's just the potential of it. But what you want to wait for is the breaking of the range. And you want to mark your range. What is the range here? The range here is from this higher low to this higher high. This is what you want to do. On why do I have so many problems trying to get this thing right? All right, this is your range here, from this higher low to this higher high. If price continues higher here, you know that price is likely to continue higher. There's a high probability that price will continue higher. All right, if price breaks the higher low, we are breaking structure to the downside, and you know that price will likely continue lower. All right, in between, price may come down, test the return to impulse, and then go higher, or come up, test this order block here, and then continue lower. Just know that with ranges, price can come all the way back down here and not violate this price point and continue higher. If it comes down here, it's still bullish until it breaks that. All right. The momentum is still bullish. All right, just the same on the other side until price is broken, has broken that high. We're still bullish. All right. We're going to continue bullishly. All right. Until otherwise. And the only thing that's otherwise is if we break that low, that higher low. This is a structural point. These little points in here are minor structural points, short-term highs and lows. Okay. But the major ones on this time frame, those are the ones you want to watch out for. So this is our range. All right. And we're waiting for price patiently to let us know, are we going to stay above this low? Are we going to stay below that high? Or are we going to break it? We're looking for the breakout of this range. If we wait a day or two, we can find out if USD is going to be weak for the week or strong for the week, and we can play the pairs accordingly. I would say avoid and wait USD pairs. Avoid them because you can get caught up in these in the range play here. But wait for clarity. Be patient. Just a day or two. This is Sunday, Monday. All right. If price breaks down here, you know that it's likely USD is going to be weak for the week. We might see a short-term highs made, short-term strength rather. Price may come back up here to test this return to impulse and then continue down. All right. If it breaks. All right. But if we see the continuance, price continues and breaks that high, we're going to see continued strength. We might see a short-term weakness and then longer-term strength. Be patient. Let it come. Now let's go to the next pair. All right, that would bring us to EURUSD. I'm only covering this because it's popular. I trade EURUSD almost every day. All right, what we want to notice is what has it done? Is this a bearish, bullish market? We have to determine that. All right, we're looking at the day, right? Price has broken this low. Oops, I got the wrong one. Price has broken this low here, right? We have a breakable low here. And we see that price is making lower lows, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Now that's significant. Let's take a closer look at that. All right, what is this telling us? The euro is weak. It was last week, right? It was until maybe Wednesday, where you see this short-term strength entering the market. But we know that it made lower low and broke this low here, right? All right, we can see that. What are we expecting? All right, we know this is a bearish market. Got that. Where is price now? Is it in premium pricing or discount pricing? Premium pricing is here if we're looking for shorts. We don't want to pay premium. We want to pay discount. Have we returned to impulse up here? This looks like that's exactly what we did. Now, what would I be looking for? I'm not entering this market, EURUSD, because the USD is kind of neutral and Euro is kind of weakish. So this is kind of, it's like I could enter this market. There's some signs of exhaustion here, but understand something. This is your order block. Yeah, I got 2 candles in this thing. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time explaining it right now, but you can refine this here. You can even refine it up here. But there's a higher probability that price may continue lower, but I'm waiting for the USD to decide. And I would suggest that you do so too. There are other pairs to take with the euro. Euro is kind of weak on the weak side, and we want to pair those with stronger currencies. And the currencies that are stronger are commodities, commodity pairs like CAD, like Aussie, like New Zealand dollar. Why? It's an inflation reflation thing, man. It's you saw last week the inflation numbers came up for the USD. All right, the safe haven pairs are weakened right now. JPY, USD, they're weakened. So we want to find the pairs that are strong, which are the commodity pairs now. All right, and things have switched, and this is probably just for the short term, but it is what it is right now. So I'm looking for the euro weak. I'm going to play to euro weakness, but I'm going to look for a different pair, a different pairing, not against the USD. USD is kind of kind of in the middle right now, going up, going down, and then coming back to the middle. I don't want to mess around with that, right? So with the euro USD, yeah, there's probabilities for shorts here, but I'm not high on it. I'm not high on it at all. We can refine up to here, and you can see on the 4 hour that we might see price transitioning right here. We might see a head and shoulder configuration happening right here. I'd wait until these lows are broken. I'd wait till these lows are broken, a retest, and then down. That's what I would wait, but I'm not going to get in this. I'm going to avoid this this market because there are better markets to look at. Let's go to the Euro Aussie. I'm going to light this up. I'm going to unlight that. Let's go to Euro Aussie. All right. And let's break this down because Aussie was true. If I can do that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go to weekly first. All right. Let's take a good look at this. What do we see here? All right. See this high. You see price went all the way up here. Boom. Right. Now I want to track it. Lower lows, lower highs, and all that. All right. Price comes down. This is one-legged structure. All right. What caused that high? I'm looking for the high first, that higher high. What caused that higher high? Well, we have a pullback here. We have a pullback here, a 2-candle pullback here. So I'm looking at that right there. And this becomes my range. All right. And there's no need to put that as the top of the range. But once this higher low is broken, then we know that price is likely to continue lower. All right. It was broken here. Boom. All right. We have a supply right here. Right. Awesome. Once price breaks down here, I'll be looking at this order block to see if price is going to return to impulse. And that's exactly what it did. All right. And this is on the weekly now. All right. And what did it give us? A transitioning from bullish to bearish, right? And we broke this low here. So this is how you break it down, folks. All right. So I'm looking here. I'm looking there right now, right? Let me see. Let me get this here. I'm always looking for the right stuff to put here. All right. So we have this breaker structure here. All right. Because this is a 2-candle, more than a 2-candle pullback, right? Lower high. And we're on our way to making a lower low. What is our range? What is our range? We have a new range, right? The new range is, this is our high. All right. And right now, for the time being, that's our low. Actually, I'm sorry. That's not our low. This is our low. I'm sorry. Forgive me. All right. This is the lower high. This is the lower high. And on the higher time frames, oh man, This is when it's the correlations and all. All right, we have to know what price wants to do on the monthly. This is our range here: lower low, lower low, lower high, and whatever happens in between, we're waiting for these points to be broken, right? But on the weekly, is that our range? On the weekly, our range is here. Just wanted to point that out, okay? But I need you to know that the larger time frame is what is dictating the next move of the smaller time frame. Price made a lower low, lower high on the monthly. What do we expect after a lower high? We expect a lower low. So we are in that bearish market, and we know that the target will be to make a lower low, the goal. What are we doing on the weekly? Lower high, and we're already trying to make this lower low, and we're waiting for price to go lower. All right, we know that the target of weekly is this low, so I'd be looking for a good place to take a short for if I'm a swing trader. And this is premium pricing. I'm waiting for a pullback. All right, a bear flag kind of a situation here, so that I can get a discount price above the 50% level. If you're going to use your fibs, make sure you go above 50%. Once it comes back up here, which is this order block here. All right, once it comes back up into this range here, that's what I'll be looking for, a short. All right, that's from me to you. All right, if we go down to the daily, this is what I was wrestling with the whole time to make these videos. We go down to the daily. What are we looking for? Does the range change? Does the range change? Yeah, it does. All right, this becomes a new range right there. And this is one leg of structure. We're looking for a lower high to be made. All right. And what are we expecting? We're expecting a return to impulse because we broke this structural point here, this low. We're waiting for a return to impulse, which will probably be right about this area here. Understand this move is the higher time frame order block. As soon as it passes in here, I'm looking for reversal patterns. And this will be the great place to take a discounted short. Got it? We're going to move on to the next one. All right, let's go to pound. Now, the pound pairs, they are towards, you just have to take these, the pound is looking kind of on the weakest side, but it was like neutral, kind of more neutral than anything else. Let's see. If we look at the daily, what are we looking at? We broke this low here, right? Making lower lows, lower highs and stuff, but we broke this low here. So this is what we want to pay attention to. All right, quickly. I'll do it quickly. Go to the monthly, right? All right, what do we have? All right, that you see the 2 candle pullback here, lower low, lower high, lower low. God dog it. If I can just stop double clicking. Lower high, and we finally got this lower low. All right, this one leg of structure. These 2 candle pullbacks is all fine, but we're still within this range, the top and bottom of this range. So all of these are short-term things until we break this low. And we did break this low here. So we have a break of structure here. And what are we expecting at this point from the monthly? All right, we're expecting a lower high to be made. Is that what happened up here? That's exactly what happened up here. Yeah, right here. That's exactly what happened up here. All right. We did not break. This one's higher. All right. We did not break the range. And we have to make sure we understand what that range is. All right. From the lower high to the lower low, from the lower low to the lower high. All right. Once we made this lower high here, this becomes our range, our top of our range. All right, until price passes we know that we are in a bearish, we have bearish momentum, we're in a bearish market, and we're looking for continuance of that bearish momentum. We're looking for a lower low to be made because this was a lower high. If price decides to pop up here, that's fine too. That means we have switched. We have shifted from a bearish momentum to a bullish momentum. All right. What is more likely? We just made a lower high here, and we're waiting for price to continue and confirm the bearish trend. Are you with me? Good. Let's go to the next. We'll go to the weekly. We understand what the framework is from the higher time frame viewpoint. What do you call it? Perspective. All right. We have price respected this high. All right. We see that price double topped here, and we broke structure, broke these smaller structure, the minor structure to the downside. Look at this. All right. Got these lows here. Got these lows here. Got these lows here. All right. Any of those structure on the weekly? Which one is structure on the weekly? That's what we need to make sure we understand. Let's get rid of this. And yeah, we can leave that. All right. So what we have is a break of structure to the upside. Look at this. All right. We have a break of this high anyway to the upside. We have a 2-candle pullback. All right. And we come up here. High. This high was respected. It was higher. It looked like it did break high. We took liquidity from up here, but we have not violated the highs here. All right. And what did we do? We found the higher low. We found the higher low here. We have a candle pullback here, a higher low, right? This goes higher, a little bit higher. So once we break this structural point here, we have to say price is likely to continue lower. All right, we broke this low, and we're looking for what at this point? Once price breaks structure, we're looking for price to return to impulse, right? And we would look for an order block for price to return to impulse, and see these 2 candle pullbacks here. That's where I'll be looking first. All right. And I would, what do you call it? Refine it. All right. Price has already gotten past this point here at its lowest point. So we're up here now. This becomes a POI, and I'll be looking for price to give me a reversal pattern there, a transition from bullish to bearish momentum. That's what I'll be looking for on the lower time frame. So on the daily, and I said I was going to make this short, and this is way too long already. All right, so we come up here. All right, this is where I would be looking for the move right here on this. This would be see how it starts here. All right, I would be looking for a price to start to transition right around here. You see how it came up here. Now we're testing again. I would be looking for the turnaround here. Maybe it comes all the way up here and test that at its highest point. But I'd be looking for that turnaround for a short, because that's what we're making. We're making short lower lows and lower highs. And that only makes sense to look for price to round over. All right. Now that would mean USD strength. All right. That would mean USD strength or USD pound weakness against a neutral kind of strength of the USD. But because we are making lower lows, I'm inclined to think that the pound is going to continue weak, even against a neutral pair, like a neutral currency like USD. All right. So, but I would wait for USD to tell us that it's going to be stronger or weaker. All right. Just to, if it stays neutral, great, because that would mean pound would be weaker against it. All right. Because we are traveling bearishly. All right, I hope you understand that. So this is where I'll be looking for a price to possibly run over. Let's go to Aussie. Now the Aussie pairs are where I think there's going to be some money to be made. We made a higher low here. Look at that. All right, I'm going to try and do this quick. All right. Aussie on the monthly, what are we doing? We see price has become bullish here. Higher high, higher low, and we're spending a lot of time up here at this higher high, higher high point. Okay. You see how price broke this bearish trend here, right? And we have a higher low point here. So once price broke this high to the upside, why did I pick that? Once price broke this high, I'm going crazy. Once price broke this high here, man, we're looking for a price to to possibly return to impulse, and that's exactly what it did. Found demand here. All right, found demand here, a demand zone, and made this bullish go from. What do I always say? We always look for pounds. We're always looking for bullish engulfers or bearish engulfers at the point of interest. All right, if it's a demand zone or a supply zone, we want to see that that bullish engulfer or bearish engulfer. That's something great to see. Price will probably test the what do you call this, the base candle of the bullish engulfer pattern. All right, and come around and continue higher. All right, and that would create the on the lower time frames, that inverted head and shoulders or the inverted quasi. All right, so on the monthly, again, I'm going too long with this. On the monthly, what are we expecting? We see that we have a bullish trend going on. We got a new bullish trend starting, and we made a higher low relative to that one. All right, so we can expect price to continue higher to make the higher high. All right, and we're going to keep an eye on when price breaks structural points to the high side. All right, that is an important thing to make sure you know. It confirms the trend, higher highs and higher lows. All right, so let's go to weekly. What do we see on the weekly? We see that price did transition, making a head and shoulders pattern, and you can see this is like three separate, no, two separate, even a mini one, for the right shoulder, head and shoulder patterns, right? And we come down, returning to the impulsing order block here, which we find that we can refine here, right? And you can see how price left this impulse, left this order block at this demand zone very strong, very aggressively. So we know that there are a lot of buy orders here. All right, price did come down to mitigate this order block, and we see that price came back on up. All right, and we can reasonably expect price to continue higher. Again, this is one of the stronger currencies. This is a commodity currency against a safe haven currency, and I expect price to push higher. All right, what do we want to see, and what are you here for? All right, just know when you see double bottoms like this, where price hits the POI and then makes a higher low the next time, or you see the exact opposite, price comes down and goes deeper. These are entries. All right, just understand that. Or when you go down to lower time frames or higher time frames, those are entries. All right, you can see the quasi here. You can see that inverted head and shoulders in there. All right, but that's from me to you. All right, so we're on the daily. And what do we see? We see this price did break down. We see it trend down, but then it made the higher low here. And that was a good thing. And you see the transition again, like I'm pointing out earlier. All right, we broke these highs. This is very significant. Once we broke these structural highs on this time frame, the daily structural highs, you can see this is a 2-candle pullback here. We made a higher low here, breaking that high. What are we expecting? We expect that price will continue to make higher highs. We saw on the monthly and the weekly that the goal was to make a higher high after making a higher low. All right, that is going to dictate what the smaller time frames want and will do. All right, we give the smaller time frame a target. That's what I'm trying to say. So what's the target? What's the target for the daily? The target for the daily is these levels here, to break these higher time frame structures, all right, structural highs, and make the higher high. All right, but in the meantime, in between time, what we want to see is price give us a discount. We are in premium price. All right, what does that mean? You get your range. Make sure you understand your range. Where's your range at? All right. We know that was one range and this was the other. Why? Because it goes from the lower low to the lower high. All right. Now this is from the lower low to the higher high. In this case, we knew that price once it broke these highs here, once it broke these highs, all right, we'll look for a return to impulse. That's exactly what it did. Boop, right? And we made the higher low and we're looking for the higher highs to be made. All right. So that changes where our where the range is, right? So we have this and here. If price continues past this, we know that it confirms that we're going to continue with bullish momentum. If price goes below this, we know that we're going to continue with bearish momentum, right? Once this was made, and then we made the higher low, this moved here. All right, this became our range. We know that if it breaks this low, there's a good chance, probably a higher probability chance that price will continue bearishly. But now we're looking for price to break this high, because we understand from the higher time frames, we were given a target on the lower time frames, the higher time frame, higher high. I hope you get that. I'll repeat it. And it's something that you got to understand with higher time frame and lower time frame correlations. The higher time frames tell the lower time frames what to do. All right. Gives them the target. They have to fill in that higher time frame framework. It is a frame. That is the key word there. It's framing what the lower time frames will do. Got it? So we're looking for a price to break higher. Now, because it's stretched, this is an overextended market. This means that we are looking at price at premium prices. We want to wait until we see a pullback. We want to see a pullback before we jump in this market. All right, because we want to get at the lowest price. So there's an order block down here, right here. All right, this is the left. You see how the down move starts here? Wait for price to come back down here and then jump in. It could continue higher and never come back here. But after a break of structure, price usually likes to make a higher low after making a higher high. Got it? That's the logic. That's the logic. So we'll look for price possibly to pull back. If we can go to the 4 hour, look for price to pull back and continue higher. See how we spent some time here? This is where price accumulates orders. All right, it manipulates the high before going low, manipulates these lows. This is how it gains liquidity. Every time it makes a wick like this, there's stop orders and buy orders at the top of these wicks for liquidity. That's the move. So it comes down, it goes up. All right. Once we break these highs, I expect price likely will probably come down here and then continue higher as it's been doing. It's going to spend some time here. It's going to manipulate. It's going to manipulate this low. It's going to manipulate that high to gain liquidity until it reaches past here where there's a pool of liquidity waiting, and then come back down, and then to return to impulse, and then continue higher. You'll see. You'll see. All right. But wait for price to pull back. Wait for a pullback, and then look for price to transition from bearish to bullish. And this is possibly one of the places that we'll be able to catch that discounted price, because price impulsed from here pretty well. So I'll look here first before I start, before I look here where I'm pretty sure price will reverse. It may reverse here. It may. All right. Next, let's go to USDCAD. Why am I in USDCAD? USDCAD is kind of on the neutral weak side. CAD is strong. It is a commodity, what do you call it? Currency. Thank you very much. And I want to see how it's going to go. Now, what do we got here? All right, on the monthly, we see that price is coming lower. It was very bearish. All right, and then we had a turn. Look at this. Last couple of months, last few months, we've been moving very bullishly. Now we got some exhaustion candles up here to the top side, but we are moving rather bullishly. What do we expect in the big scheme of things, though? Right? There's a bullish market. We have a pullback. We're making a lower high. Do I expect a lower low to come? Do I expect a lower low to come after making a lower low, a lower high, with a bearish engulfer? Am I expecting a lower low? Well, where's the break of structure? Did you forget to ask that? I bet you did. I'm looking for the break of structure right now. All right, and boom. All right, what made that high? All right, I look for the higher low that makes the higher high. Is that a higher high? Actually, it's not. This one here was never, the liquidity was never grabbed from up here, up that high. I don't understand why I didn't, but I find that very interesting. Anyway, price broke these lows here, short-term lows, short-term lows, short-terms. All right, I'm looking for a 2-candle pullback, and we have one here, but these are this is more significant for me. All right, I'm looking for the order block that sent the demand areas that sent price impulsing that high. All right, start to look at these, start to look at those. All right, but what happens is all of this is short-term stuff, because we got to understand where is our range. Again, this is the high. Where's the low? I'm going to go all the way. Look at this 2-candle pullback and then higher. This looks like one, I'm going to call this one leg of structure. And that would mean this, doggone, man, what is going on? This is our break of structure here on the monthly. All right, what do I expect after a break of structure? Return to impulse, right? Did we find supply here? It looks like we might have found supply right here. We have a bearish engulfer at a supply here. So this might be it. And I would be looking here as well. So I'm looking at these two spots. Looks like price may be making the lower high here. All right. This is USD CAD. CAD is strong. I'm expecting price to continue low. And so I am expecting a lower low to be made from this time frame. And where's my what do you call this thing? My range. All right, from that lower high to this lower low, we're waiting for price to either break either side to decide whether price is going to continue bullishly or continue bearishly, or break the bearish momentum and continue bullishly, right? That's on the monthly. Let's go to the weekly. All right. On the weekly, CAD was for the last month very bearish, and we broke structure to the downside. Look at this 2-candle pullback here. So we have a break of structure here. Why did it just do that? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. All right. We have a break of structure to the downside here. What do I expect after a break of structure? Return to impulse. So I'm going to be looking at this pullback. Wait for price to come back up here for a discount price, because we are at premium prices right now. I'll wait for price to pull back and then look for a short for a lovely swing. All right, let's go down to the daily. I'm doing this a little faster. Thank you. All right. All right. We see how price has transitioned once it got up in our POI, right? All right. Transition from the downside to the downside. We broke structure to the downside. I'm waiting for price to return to impulse. Here is our impulse in order block. And we see how price tested it here. If price comes back up here, this is going to be a nice look for a short. All right. Again, this is a USD pair. We're waiting for price to decide with the USD currency whether it's going to be bullish or bearish, right? We want to be patient with that. But CAD is strong. So I'm inclined to take shorts in this market. And this is going to be a good market, I think, to take shorts in, waiting for price to do its thing. There might be some supply here. We might get a reaction when price pulls back here at this level. What level is this? 1.24452. Whenever you see a different color candle in an impulse, there's a chance that price will react there. Doesn't mean it will reject there, but there's going to be some kind of reaction in those areas. So we just have to be patient with that. Okay. I'm looking in, if I could just stop doing that. All right. Yeah. Right here where it begins. This would be the optimal place to look for a discounted short. All right. If we go to the 4-hour, we might be able to see some things a little more clearly. Here's that move here. Price did come back up there. So I'm thinking, yeah, when price does revisit this area, we're probably not going to get a whole lot of reaction because it's been tested so many times. I can see price going up higher through that, honestly. All right, so let's go to the next pair. Did I want to check USD Swiss? Because Swiss and USD against each other is not the greatest combination. I'm gonna get rid of all of this. I'm sorry, not the greatest combination to look for this coming week. Let me see on the 4-hour. Yeah, we can see if I can. What you want to do when you look at one time frame is to see what the higher time frame structure is. High, low, higher, high, higher, low, right? Higher, high, higher, low, lower, high, higher, low. What we want to notice is that price is respecting these lows, right? This isn't really a lower high because lower highs don't make higher lows. Lower highs make higher lows, not lower lows, all right? So, this is, once this range is established, anything that happens in between there are swing highs and swing lows. You understand? All right. Once we don't know if it's going to continue bullishly until it passes here. That's when it's confirmed, because that was the highest point. All right. Once we break structure, there's a couple of points where it could be considered a break of structure. When we start breaking these highs, then we can start saying, yeah, okay, that's a higher high, that's a higher low, that's a higher high. All right. But it can become noisy. So you look for legs of structure, all right, like this leg, all right, like this leg. And you say to yourself, what does it look like on the higher time frames? Are we going to make a higher high on the higher time frames on the monthly? That's right. That's exactly right. We're looking for this high to be broken. All right. On the four, by the time we get to the 4 hour, that the daily, this is going to be the target for the daily because of what the monthly is showing us. All right. And on the 4 hour, we look for the daily target. Do you understand that? I think that just made sense. So the higher time frames dictates what the goal is of the lower time frame. All right. What are we making here? Where's the last break of structure? The last break of structure here is, all right, making here, we got pull back here. We finally broke structure here to the upside, and then we broke these lows and this one to the downside. Interesting, right? And this this bullish momentum was changed here to bearish momentum. All right, to a bearish momentum after a break of structure to the downside. What are we looking for? A return to impulse, right? And where's that impulse start? Right about here. Why did I say that? Because from here to here, that is going to be our that is the actual order block, right? That's the actual order block. We return to it. We is likely to consider down. We're likely to see some more downside after having returned to impulse. Probably going to be breaking this low. I want to see something on the daily though. Let's see. Make a higher highs. But we finally had a little change here with a bearish order block. A bearish order block. We'll come back and test this, the base candle of this order block. Probably there's likely we'll see some more downside in this market. But the monthly, I'm going through it in my head right now, but the monthly, look at this. The monthly has made lower low, hold on, lower low, lower high. This low was made, but there was no real pullback. So this becomes one leg of structure all the way down. Where's this? Where's this? Okay. We got this 2 candle. But we got the push here. Did we get a 2 candle pullback? No. You see a 2 candle pullback in here? No. What about down here? You see a 2 candle pullback here? No. You see a 2 candle pullback here? No. This is one legged structure. All right. And this means you see this pullback here, that's 3 candles. 1. And we made a higher low here. Higher low. Interesting, right? So on the monthly, I just want to get that straight. On the monthly, what are we looking at? We made a higher low here. Interesting, right? And this would constitute a switch from bearish momentum to bullish momentum. All right, that would mean Swiss against a weakish kind of, which is already weak. Again, that is the Swiss is a what? A doggone safe haven kind of a thing. USD and Swiss, I don't want to, this isn't a market I want to mess around with, but I'm looking at this price action here, and I would look for a price to, with this, on the monthly, I would look for price to make a higher high after making this higher low. I'm looking for price to continue to climb. Yeah. So on the that's the higher time frame mandate, and we can see the price did transition, breaking this high, coming back, returning to impulse here, and continuing to break those short-term highs along the way up. As we break the short-term highs, we break a couple of them, you can see that there's more buyers than there's more bulls than bears, and we don't have a reason just yet to say that prices are going to continue lower. We have a range here. This is actually the range, right? This is really our range on the lower time frames. Here, this right here on the weekly, where is our range? After that, we're looking for this high, after, and this higher low. All right, we're in the middle of this range, and we're looking for price to confirm the higher high and all. All right, we haven't had any real two candle pullbacks as of yet. That doji is kind of, that's much more sketchy. All right, we're coming up here. We have a 2 candle pullback here. All right, so we have a higher point here. All right, but we haven't broken our major structure here. All right, so we're looking for price to continue to respect these lows and continue higher, and we are at a, what do you call, discount price. Price is coming back here, testing this down move, this demand zone, and I would be looking at a lower time frame to see if price is transitioning for sure. If price is transitioning, this might make a nice short. Be careful, because what is obvious, price could be transitioning. We have a bearish engulfer here. Price has already tested this this base order block here. All right, so, and we have a lot of support going on down here, so we want to be careful. All right, and we want to see if price will give us a transition. We have a low here. Will it come back lower and then do this and give us the opposing inverted head and shoulders to continue higher? We just have to keep in mind, what is the higher time frame mandate? We're looking, after making a higher low, we're looking for the higher high. So I'm looking for a transition here. This would be a great entry for a long swing. Let's go to one more. NZDUSD. I can't go through these things quick. I'm tired of lying to you and myself. All right. Let's see. Come on, man. I'm not gonna win with this. Just not gonna win. All right. What do we have here? New Zealand, that's going to be one of the stronger ones against the USD. All right. And you can see how this market is finding strength here, right? It's very similar to the Aussie. So we broke this high, and we have this high. Let's mark that as our higher time frame range. All right. We have a pullback here. Another pullback with a bearish engulfer, right? And we have price at this this low point right here. Okay, so this is one leg of structure for me, and this would be This would be the what do you call it? Monthly range. Okay, and we are at premium price right now. All right. After breaking, where's the breaker structure now? We need to make sure we have that breaker structure. Where's the breaker structure at? All right. High right here. This is where price broke structure the first time. All right. We have a breaker structure here. Why is that so high? I don't know. Okay. Don't ask. All right. We break this high here. We gathered, accumulated some more orders, took some more liquidity from here, took liquidity from here. All right. Once we break these other highs, that's a good sign. The price is going to continue bullishly, right? So we make a higher high, with this being the higher, the lower low. This lower low led to this higher high. So what are we looking for? A higher low to be made. All right, we broke structure here. Are we going to come down and test the lower time frame? The order block in which price pumped, impulsed. Is this the whole order block? Look at this. That's the down move before the up move. Yes. All right. Can we refine it? Of course we can. But is price going to come all the way down here? No. I'll be looking for price to start giving transitions here. Understand we're on the monthly time frame, so this is going to take quite a bit of time. All right. This is where I'll be looking for price to return to on the monthly. But we need to know what is the mandate. The mandate is we broke structure to the upside. We're looking for a price to make a higher low. Let's look for the weekly. We'll go down to the weekly. What do we see? These look like good pullbacks, right? We have this high, and we want to establish the range. All right. What is our range? This is the high point. Came here, right? For the lower low. We're looking for this to become the higher high. Is this a good pull? Is this a good pullback? Of course it is. And then we break structure to the downside, making a lower low here. This became the range, right? Now, lower low. There's no pullback here, all right? Not even that. So this becomes one leg of structure from here to here. So we're in between that now, all right? Look at this. We broke these short-term highs here, and this is a 2-candle pullback. I do like that one as the new range, all right? We haven't broken lower, and we're looking for price to break higher. And this is possible on the weekly. It's possible, giving us a transition from bearish to bullish, right? Regarding the momentum, all right? Now, what do we have here? We have a lower low and a lower high. And what is the mandate of the higher time frame? What is the mandate of the higher time frame? What did we say? All we have to do is pan out and look at the bigger structure. We had a breaker structure here. We're looking for price to make the higher low, to make the higher high. Price on the weekly has made a lower low, lower high. And what are we expecting? What are we expecting? Are we expecting a higher low to be made? Or a higher high to be made? Are we expecting a break of this low? Well, we had a break of structure. We have, it's reasonable to expect a return to impulse. Where is that impulse going to be expected? Well, we have demand here, and all of this here is very interesting. You see how price left this area? This is a good area to look for that up move. All right. Did price already return here? Look at this. From this down move to the up move, we see price did test here. If the price breaks that high, then we have a transition from bullish to bearish, and we can see that price is going to make the higher low here for the higher time frame. Do you understand? Let's go to the daily. What do we see? It's price transitioning here. Yes or no? This is a morning star reversal pattern. If you go to the higher time frame, slightly higher time frame, like 2 day, this turns into a bullish engulfer. All right, and you can just mark those easy. The price did break structure here, break the structural point. We came back, returned to impulse, and we are seeing price break higher. I'm expecting price to continue higher. We are at equilibrium. This is the middle of a range, all right? Middle of the range. Understand where the range is. The range changed. Come on, man. I didn't mean to do that. The range changed on this time frame. If I can get it, I can't. Apparently, I can't. If I can get that, I can't. Can I get this? Is it going to let me have this? Yes. There you go. Range change from that high to this low. All right, the higher low from this lower, from this higher high here to this higher low. We're looking for price to continue higher. All right, and because we're past the 50% point, which is equilibrium. I'm going to wait until I would suggest you wait until price gives a pullback, gives a bullish, a bull flag, gives a bull flag pattern on the 4 hour. I'll wait for that bull flag pattern before I jump in for a swing trade for a long. All right. Now, it's easier to see here. You see this high? Once we broke this high, we broke structure, and we're expecting what? A return to impulse. Where would that impulse be? This order block, probably. Order block right there. That order block right here. I would love to see price return to this order block and give me a nice swing trade entry for the for a nice long. Now, understand. Look at this impulse. Look at the way price left this demand zone. All right. When it comes back, you know that there's probably going to be some good orders in here, some good bullish orders. I mean, buy orders here, right? So this is where I want to see price transition from bearish to bullish. I want to see price react to this this particular order block, and we just have to be patient. All right, because USD is still deciding what it wants to do, but we know New Zealand is strong. We know New Zealand is strong. This pullback will be a temporary short-term weakness, but we know we're looking for, because of the higher time frames, we're looking for a higher high to be made. We're looking for the higher low to be established, and this may be that higher low from the higher time frames. So if it comes back to impulse here, that'd be a great swing trade. That's it. That's where I'm going to end this. I did a lot of little lecturing and stuff here, but I'm hoping that you have some setups in mind. You're waiting for the proper bias with the USD, and you're recognizing the strength in the New Zealand and Aussie and CAD. Understand, CAD is going to be following oil, is following oil. You saw how oil became strong as inflation rates came in for the USD, right? Look at that. This is on the 4 hour. Look at it. Look at it. Keep doing that. All right. So look at US oil. I'll do a separate analysis for oil and gold and the rest of them, but I want to get this one done and over with and out to my people. I will see you in the next video. make sure you look out for the updates and the next videos, because I'm going to have separate markets and everything for breakdowns, because I take, I'm long-winded. I try to teach, I try to instruct, I try to pass on what I've learned, and I'm hoping that you're patient with me on that. Show your support by giving me a like and encouraging me to give more content, give more time to you, to make sure that I'm helping to raise independent traders who can do their own analysis and find their own trades, and then maybe sharpen up each other, me, you, and as a community. And iron sharpens iron, and I'm hoping we can all come up together and stuff. So yeah, what was I was looking for something. Anyway, just be careful with the news next week, and I will see you in the next video. Trade safely.